time. Good morning. You all are doing good. Had a good night. Feeling okay this morning. I'm a little sore, so I might be moving a little bit sore this morning, or a little bit slow this morning. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Let's just start on a seat. So roll those shoulders down and back, closing down those eyes. Let's just take a few breaths, kind of come to this space while everybody else kind of jumps on and joins us. Just start by breathing in and out through the nose. Nothing special, just that natural breath. Start to make that breath a little bit bigger. So big breath in through the nose. Really feeling that expansion of the rib cage in all directions. So the front, the side, the back. Try and sip in a little bit more air. And then exhaling that breath out, just nice and slow. Big breath in. And exhale it out. And just continuing this on your own, that really big breath in, filling those lungs. And then exhaling it out nice and slow, really controlling that exhale. Just gonna help to calm the body, calm the mind. And let's reach those arms out to the side, reach up nice and tall. So maybe bring those palms together to touch, maybe those shoulders a little bit too tight for that. And then we'll start to bend those elbows, just bring those hands right down to heart center. Again, we'll reach those arms out and up. Exhale those hands down. So one more time, reaching those arms up. Now we'll interlace those fingers. We're going to bring the hands to the backs of the head. Draw those elbows in and press that head back as we lift those elbows up towards the ceiling. So again, core is tight. We're not arching through that low back. Just a little bit of a stretch maybe through the upper back, through those triceps. And then we'll reach those arms back up. Let's find that gentle twist over to that right side. So sitting nice and tall on that inhale. Exhale a little deeper into that twist. Inhale, bring it back to center. Reach the arms up and twist it to the other side. And inhale, let's reach it up. Nice and tall, nice and gentle. Side stretch over to that right side. So reach that left arm up and then over, grounding through that left hip. Good, bring it back up. Let's go to the other side. So reach that right arm up and then over. And then inhale, reach those arms back up. Draw those arms down. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back. Okay, pull the knuckles down towards the ground. And then maybe hands away from the hips. If that's too aggressive, just bring those hands kind of behind the back. Thumbs are pointing forward. Fingertips are pointing back. And then open the chest. Stretching those shoulders that away. Okay, let's repeat that one more time. So release. Reaching those arms up, interlace the fingers behind the head, pull those elbows towards each other as we lift that head up. And then we'll reach those arms back up. Let's twist it to that right side. Inhale it back up. Exhale it to the other side. Inhale, reach those arms up. Let's find that side stretch over to that right side. Inhale it back up, over to that left side. Good, inhale it back up. Now we'll just interlace Both hands behind the back. Draw the knuckles down and bring those hands away from the hips. And we'll release those hands. Coming onto hands and knees, that tabletop position. So on that inhale, we're going to drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. Exhale, we'll round that spine, press the shoulder blades away, draw that belly up and in. And inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. And exhale, round. And inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, round. And now bring it back to neutral. Go ahead and step those feet back to our plank. Let's hold it here. So maybe even bring those feet together, squeezing those legs together so we're really active through all of those muscles of the legs, the glutes, the core. Nice flat back, pressing the shoulder blades away from each other. And then we'll send those hips up to that inverted V shape for that down dog. Let's pedal those feet for a few breaths. Let's move nice and slow with these movements. And let's come up onto the toes. Bend those knees. We're going to step those feet up to the top of the mat. Sliding those hands to the shins on that half lift. And exhale, slide those hands down as we fold. And if it's a little bit too much with the hands on the ground, you can always just bring those hands right to the shins or to the ankles. You need to bend into those knees. We're going to plant those hands down to the mat. Flatten out that back. So you might have to come up onto your fingertips. We're going to take a big step back with that left leg. So lowering just the toes down, the knee is going to stay lifted, and then we'll twist. Right arm is going to reach up. Let's lower that hand down. Go ahead and step it back to our plank. And lower it down. Inhale, lifting the chest. And exhaling those hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. One more breath. And now we're going to inhale that left leg up to the sky. Curl that knee to the nose, stepping that foot through. So again, just staying in the lunge this time. We won't add that twist at this point. And then step it forward into that forward fold. Half lift on that inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend into those knees. Go and rise all the way up to standing. Reach it up nice and tall. Let's interlace those fingers. Let's just find that side stretch over to the right side. Inhale it back up. Exhale it to the left. Inhale, reach it back up. And exhale, fold. So flattening out that back. This time we're going to pick that right leg up. Take that big step back into the lunge. Back knee stays lifted. We'll plant that right hand as we twist. Left arm reaches up. And lower that hand down. Stepping that foot back to our plank as we lower. Inhale, lift it up. So moving through that vinyasa. Again, if this up dog is too much, you can always lower that rib cage down and just stay in that baby cobra. Then exhale, let's send those hips up and back into that down dog. So we'll inhale that right leg up towards the sky. Curl that knee to the nose, stepping that foot through. Just hold it here in that lunge. And then we'll step that foot forward, coming into our forward fold. Inhale that half lift. Exhale, fold. Then into those knees, we're going to rise to standing, reach it up nice and tall. Side bend it to the right. Inhale it back up. Over to the left. Inhale, reach it back up and fold. Flat back on that inhale, fingertips on the ground. We're going to lift that left leg up. Big step back into that lunge. Left hand plants, right arm reaches up. Lower the hand down, step it back to our plank. Lower. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, hips to the sky, down dog. Feet together. We're going to inhale that left leg back up. Curl that knee to nose. Step that foot through. You're just holding that lunge. And then we'll step that right foot forward. Inhale that half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And side bend it to the right. Inhale it up to the left. Inhale, reach it back up. And exhale, let's fold. Fingertips to the mat, flatten out that back. We're gonna lift our right leg up. Big step back. Plant that right hand twisting. Left arm is reaching up. Lower that hand down. Stepping that foot back to our plank. Moving through that vinyasa. And exhaling those hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Good, then inhale the right leg up. Let's send that right foot through. Just coming into that lunge. And then we'll step that foot forward. Find that half lift on the inhale. Exhale, fold. And into those knees, rise up. Interlacing those fingers. Bend it over to the right side. Inhale, back up. Over to the left side. Inhale it back up. Now from here, we'll interlace those fingers behind the back. Open up through that chest. And then release those arms up tall. Press the hips forward as we reach those arms back. And now let's bring those hands to the hips. We're gonna do a little bit of balance here. So the weight's gonna be on that right foot. Just draw that left knee up to the chest, flexing that foot. It's standing tall here. If you need to have something next to you, maybe not just like put your hand onto, but have it close by in case you need to grab onto it. So keep pulling that knee up, maybe a little bit higher. Now from here, we're gonna cross that ankle over and just send those hips back. So if those hips are a little bit tighter, you might be sitting on a really high bar stool. If you're feeling pretty good about it, maybe sink those hips down into more of a regular chair. Now, you're not actually sitting on a chair, but it's that idea that we're just sitting down, crossing our legs, hanging out on this chair. And maybe sink a little lower as those hips start to open up. One more breath. And then come up out of it. So you can just extend that leg out. This time, lifting that leg as high as you can. And then lower it down. So go to the other side on that left foot. So drawing that right knee into the chest. That core stays tight. Draw that knee up maybe a little bit higher. And now we'll cross that ankle over that left thigh. Sink those hips back and soften it down. And as we hold, as it starts to loosen up, maybe we sit a little bit lower. Bring it back up. Bring that knee to the chest. Extend that leg out. And lower that foot down. Good. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling that half lift. And exhale, plant those hands. Let's go and step it back to our plank. As we lower, inhale, lift. And exhale those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Just really pressing that tailbone up towards the ceiling, pressing those heels down towards the mat. And now let's go into that pigeon since we kind of started warming up or stretching out those hips. Let's go for that big one. So extend that right leg up. So bending into the knee, opening up through the hips. We want just as much weight in that right hand as in the left hand. We're opening like this. Now we're going to send that right knee to the right wrist. Foot comes across. Left leg slides back. Let's lower onto those forearms and just rest that head down. So gently pulling that right shin back. The left knee is pulling forward. Let's come up onto those hands. Send that leg back to our down dog. Take a few breaths to pedal those feet out. Then we'll go to the other side. We'll inhale that left leg up. Open up that hips. We bend that top knee. And now we'll bring that left knee towards that left wrist. Foot's going to come across. We'll slide that right leg back. And when you're ready, just go and lower onto those forearms. Slowly come back onto those hands. Let's go and send that leg back to that down dog again. Couple of breaths just to pedal those feet out. We'll sway those hips. Let's come on to our backs. Just hugging those knees into the chest. Just give it a little squeeze as we gently rock from side to side. Now we're going to keep that right knee hugged in. The left leg extends out. So you can either plant that left foot down with the knee bent as we go into this half happy baby, or you can slide that leg out. But basically the right knee is going to be right outside the shoulder. Bottom of the foot is pointing up towards the ceiling. We're going to draw that shoulder down to the mat. So we're trying to draw that knee down towards the mat. And then while still pulling the knee down, maybe you can straighten out that leg a little bit more. And then we can release that foot as we twist. So that left hand just guides that knee across. Right arm is reaching out. Take that inhale and exhale. Soften, twist a little bit more. And then bring it back up. Let's switch sides. Hug that left knee in, and then we'll grab onto that foot. So bottom of the foot starts pointing up towards the ceiling, just that, if you can, get it there to that 90-degree bend in that knee. If you want to straighten that right leg out, you have that option. Start by just pulling that shoulder down, pulling that knee down towards the mat, and then maybe you find that you can extend that leg out just a little bit more. And then let's release that foot. Right hand is just going to guide that knee across as that left arm reaches out into that twist. And then bring that knee back to center. Hug both knees into the chest. So just gently rock from side to side. And then we'll switch, we'll go forward and back. Let's come all the way up to a seat. So eyes, let's keep the eyes closed or close down the eyes. Bring those hands to the knees. Let's just take some final breaths here just to kind of get yourself in that calm, a more relaxed headspace before we start our day. Just relax the shoulders. Again, those big breaths in through the nose, filling those lungs completely. And then out through the nose, really slow and controlled. So maybe you notice the sensation of the breath as it enters and exits the nose. Maybe you notice that rise and fall of the chest. Whatever is more predominant, just really focus on that. And as you notice that the mind starts to wander, just acknowledge it and just come right back to that breath. Leaving those eyes open. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a great day. I'm teaching the weights class this afternoon at 4:30. So hope to see you all there. Otherwise, we got recharge and yoga again tomorrow. So thanks guys, have a good one.